All right, now let's take a look and see if it's actually working over here on the Twitch stream with the thing and the Glavin and the more. Hey, it's working. Excellent. All right. I was nervous there for a minute. All right, Dementia Radio now and recording in 3, 2, 1.
Recorded live on DementiaRadio.org, it's the Funny Music Podcast. Brought to you by FuMP.com, where you can download new free comedy songs twice a week. Now, here's your hosts, Devo Spice and the great Luke Ski.
Hey, Devo Spice!
Hey, Luke Ski!
We have a wonderful long lag tonight, I'm assuming.
Yes, we do. We have, I should do a speed test just for the fun of it. Let's see. My entire development has been complaining to the FCC about Optimum's service. It's actually working. Now this is while I'm streaming, but now keep in mind I'm paying for 500 megabits down. I'm getting 7 right now, and upload looks like I'm also getting 7. So I can work with 7 megabits. We can do the show. When it starts getting down to like 1, that's when the feed starts to cut out. So yeah, and we're kind of screwed.
This. The listeners, I assume, did.
What was that?
But when you the first time you said that it was working, it actually paused briefly to lag while you were saying working. So it's actually working. It's like,
of course. All right. Well, it's working as well as Optimum ever does, and we're kind of hosed because supposedly there's like a break in the line. We have all underground utilities, so somebody's gonna have to come and dig to fix it. And one of the neighbors actually called a local DSL company called Brightspeed. I don't know if they're national or not, and they won't come out to install a new line because of something with the infrastructure here. So until somebody digs in this neighborhood, we are stuck with this shitty connection. So supposedly, our HMO has reached out to another fiber optic company that's going to dig and lay fiber, but God only knows when that's going to happen. So thank you to Wildcard for subscribing again, 52 months in a row. Thank you so much, Wildcard.
woohoo!
All right. Welcome to episode 775 of the Funny Music Podcast. For Thursday, April 24th, 2025, the title of this week's episode is Uneven Cemetery. Because why not? All right. And we're going to have a pre-recorded interview with both Matt Harbert and Joe J. Thomas coming up later in the show. Uneven Cemetery.
Oh, okay.
All right. Let's do the thing.
Let's get caught up with what Devo and Luke have been up to since last week. Or else Devo, if Luke bailed and didn't show up.
Hey, what?
Oh, he's right.
So, Luke, what you been up to?
Well, earlier today, I was making some PSD image files, and now I'm going to attach them to this email and send them to you.
Woohoo! Less work for me!
Yay! Because the base part of the image, and this is all vague booking until next week, basically when they might figure out what the hell we're talking about. Was the main part of the image was something I made to be the background of an image that I've since I don't have the time because I have to go join Kalani for her first chemotherapy session tomorrow and Saturday. I have hired Chuck to whip up an artwork for me that will be my promo image for my next FuMP track. And so she's working on the actual cartoony image that's the foreground, and I wanted to have something in the background. So I whipped together the background, and as I was putting it together, I'm like, this background just by itself might make a good FuMP album cover.
Luke, you
and
need
save
to
Devo some time and effort.
you need to say that again as the voice of Ed's Discount Learn and Hut. I paid Chuck to whip up an artwork.
Hey, so you know what I done all gone and did? I got that old Chuck girl to come on over and say, hey, take and do those little doodly-doo-doos all, and you make them happen, and I'll just sit here and eat myself an Uncrustable. God damn it, delicious. Okay, so then you go and you put it on the album, then Devo Spots don't have to do nothing except go and hunt them squirrels out in the back that have been pooping on the stoop. Poop, stoop, squirrels, dang you forever. How's that?
Thank you. Perfect. The wonderful.
Tie the dog to the poach. Anyway, oh yeah, I'm supposed to tell you what I've been doing. What have I been doing? What is wrong with the computer? It won't let me go to the thing. Oh no. Oh, I see. If I close that, I can go into the thing. All right. So, I went to, oh wait, yeah, I was on last week's show. Yes,
Yes,
okay.
you were.
So, I went to Irvine to be there for Kalani as she had her port installed, which is a physical device thingy that is like put underneath her skin, like up here, with a tube that goes like through and into, like whatever the vein I guess it is, like just outside of her heart. So that basically, when they have to give her the chemotherapy juices, they can just punch right into that thing. So that way, it's like it basically keeps from having to like find a different thing in her arm like every time for the next 12 or so things that they're going to do this with. So they're going to be going into the thing, so it'll only be hurting like one little part of skin can really easily heal, etc., and it just makes the whole process a lot easier, and it gets the chemo stuff through the body quicker because it's going. Yeah. Anyway, so that all happened. So I made sure she was okay. Got her all taken care of, and then once everything was all set with her, I got back here to Burbank and spent a couple of days getting various important things done around the apartment, and then Kalani actually came out here to hang out here for a couple of days because she wanted to hang out with my roommate Santana, because Santana wanted Kalani's opinion on some fashion and jewelry related things. So they went out and did a bunch of shopping type stuff like that.
Wait! Hold the farm. Santana's there.
Yeah, she's been here for a little bit now.
Oh wow!
So,
okay.
Yeah, for like the past few weeks. See, that's the irony, is that Santana's actually here, but I'm like having to go back and forth with Kalani because of her medical stuff, and then the San Diego thing, and so. But yeah, so it was actually me and Kalani and Santana at the same place at the same time. So it was a trip. So yeah, So I was working on things and trying. Basically, I have a to-do list of things I have to get done by the end of the day Sunday, and I'll explain that in a minute. But another thing that we did was last night, Kalani and I, we managed to get online, and through the the powers of the internet being on our side for once, we were both each able to order our own Switch 2.
Oh, nice.
Specifically the Mario Kart World Bundle, because I'll be danged if I'm going to wait any amount of time longer than is necessary to play that game. So when it comes, so it's done. When it comes out on June 5th, I'll be able to pick mine up at the Burbank Best Buy at midnight, and it'll be a hootenanny. And she'll be picking up hers at the Tustin Best Buy out in Tustin, near Irvine. So that was awesome. So basically, I think I may have hinted at this before, but I'm just kind of let everybody know I'm not gonna make any kind of big drastic public announcement about it. But I already did kind of a joke image about it the other day. But basically, here's the thing. I have at least one. Like, as far as having a regular crappy old day job type job, I do have a potential thing I could do that they said like they're basically are hiring people all the time. There's lots of turnover. So if I, applied, I'd probably be working for them within 2 weeks. It's a job out in Irvine, near where Kalani lives. I prefer to find something out here, and obviously I'd prefer to find something that's actually has to do with the entertainment industry. But anyway, also I was hoping to get some kind of training courses, that were available to me through like a government program, but it turns out that was kind of, not necessarily a lie, but more like Kalani was able to do it in Orange County because Orange County has like not so much a smaller population, but more like a smaller population of people who are trying to use this type of government program.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So basically, they had more resources for someone like Kalani when Kalani was out of a job looking for work, and me, it's like, hi, I'd like some resources, and they're like, yeah, you and 8 million other people here in Los Angeles, So basically, there really weren't any training courses I could take that would help me get a job, which kind of stinks. But the overall point is this. I am still looking for animation work, or jobs in the animation industry. I'm also keeping an eye out for regular old day jobs that, are more in the area and are more along the lines of, hey, I could actually do that and, live with myself, or whatever. But I do have that other fallback job to fall back on if nothing else comes about. And I basically have the resources and the money saved up in my bank account that I could get by until about the beginning of July on what I have without having to have a job again. So I've made the decision that comes starting this Monday, the 28th, I am basically going to make working on the Deanna and Darius animatic that I've been trying to work on for over 3 years. I am working on that and any materials relating to doing a show pitch for Deanna and Darius. That is now my full-time 40-hour-a-week job. I'm going to keep track of how much I work so that, I can, give myself the freedom to take days off, like weekends or whatever the hell, But the point is, I'm generally going to shoot for doing Monday through Friday, 8 hours a day. It might not be 9 to 5 hours because I'm a night person, but I am tired of everything in my life, or just all these things that come along everything is always more important than working on this animatic. Mm-hmm. And it's ridiculous that it's been this long that I rough boarded the first 45 seconds of it, and it's just been sitting there ever since. I mean, I have this awesome soundtrack with a couple of awesome friends doing voices on it. I paid Chris Menzelesta to mix it down so it has music and sound effects. It's and I've just been sitting here thinking to myself, if I did start a job search if I found a job and just jumped into it right away because I'm so afraid of getting a job, I'm going to be bitter and angry at myself for not having taken this time, knowing that I could have taken this time. So if I'm going to have to start working a day job, again, I want to start working a day job knowing that I finished this animatic and I finished the pitch materials for this show and pitch materials for possibly 1 or 2 other shows of mine that I have in mind, so that if I have to go back to doing day job stuff, I want to have the ability to figure out how to contact people at studios or streaming services and be able to pitch Deanna and Darius and the other show ideas so that I can try to do something with my career. But, so it's like, fine, I got laid off from my stupid job at Ease. Fine, I'm going to take advantage of this situation. Kalani is at a point, I am going to be still going out. Like the first 4 chemo sessions she's doing are once every 2 weeks. So the first one is this Friday. So I will go out and be there for her chemo days. And then after that, it'll be once a week. But that particular type of chemo is going to be less intense. So I'll probably still be going out to see her on those days. But, at some point she might tell me she doesn't necessarily need me to do that. Because even if she's worried about driving, there are the American Heart Association or one of those services will drive people to give people rides to and from their chemotherapy is what I'm saying. Cool. So yeah. So basically outside of that and outside of recording this podcast, I still want to do, a new animation and stuff podcast roughly every 2 weeks. I mentioned to Tony that if he wants me for an Escape from Walt Disney, I'm I'm certainly willing to do that. But he still has an episode that I'm in that he hasn't released, so he probably won't be asking me. But yeah. But I let him know, like, hey, if you're doing something, I'd be glad to be a part of it. So if you hear me online talking about I'm not doing crap for anybody, it's like I wanted to make sure he knew. No, I want to do Escape from Vault Disney. It's one of my favorite things to do. And I'm not super concerned about bad rapport because, first of all, episode 4 of the Animation and Stuff podcast, Carrie's going to be my guest. So even if I don't get another bad rapport done anytime soon, that'll sort of be a bad rapport in a way. But yeah, just basically I'm making a conscious choice to put myself first and do this thing I need to do. And, basically I'm going to put off doing commission work or, stuff for other, like if people come to me and they want me to do stuff for them, like they're going to pay me, I'm going to tell them that they need to pay me like literally hundreds of dollars at a minimum for me to take the time away from this that I've been putting off forever. Because that was one of the things that kept happening. It's like, oh, I should do it. Oh, wait, I got this commission. I have to get this done. Or yeah. I got 3 commissions. I got to get these 3 pieces of artwork done. And then some piece of artwork take me 45 minutes, and then others take me, a week and a half to get done. And I'm tired of the unpredictability of that. So I don't want anything to take time away from me working on this animatic and stuff unless I'm making literally crazy hundreds of amounts of dollars doing it, So yeah. So that's my big spiel that I wanted to let everybody in our little community know, who listens to this podcast. I'm not going to be, a jerk or whatever. I'm just going to politely say, no, I can't do stuff for other people. It's Luke's time now. This is my, I'm trying to make this about me era. So, so yeah, so that's the big thing I wanted to say. And now you can tell me what you've been up to.
Well, mostly I've been working on my Patreon. I released a new episode of The Insider today, and segment 4 goes into detail about what's going on with my Patreon. So I'm not going to repeat everything that I said on that podcast here, but just at a very high level, what's happening is I'm combining my 2 Patreons together. So the Manic Mondays and the Random Acts of Horror are going to be smooshed together into a new Devo Spice Patreon. So that's already happened. So it's patreon.com/Devo Spice. The /Manic Mondays will automatically redirect you to Devo Spice. The Random Acts of Horror one is dead. It's a dead link now. Although it may still show you the old one. I honestly don't know. The other thing that's happening is Patreon is being forced to change from a per item payment schedule to a per month payment schedule. This has to do with Apple and the App Store and subscriptions and Apple getting their cut or something. But basically, I had set up Manic Mondays to be a per item release, so people were paying me $1 per show, and I'm not allowed to do that anymore. So I need to migrate everybody to a per month payment schedule. So that's part of this whole process. And I'm going to be adding a bunch of tiers and stuff and rewards about doing, like, I'm going to include like some of my short films and other comedy skits and things like that, early mixes of new songs as they become available, stuff like that. And additionally, I thought it might be a good idea to ask people what they actually wanted and what they'd be interested in. So I set up a survey at tiny.cc/Patreon survey. It's really short, shouldn't take you more than about 2 minutes, and you can tell me what you want me to do with my Patreon, including shove it up my ass if that's how you feel. I'm probably only going to keep that up through this weekend because I do need to get the migration going. So if you have any feedback for me regarding my Patreon, tiny.cc/Patreon survey is the place to go. The other bit of news...
I filled out that survey.
Thank you.
And I wanted to say that at first when I started filling it out, I got to the point where you're asking how much money you would be willing to pay for blah, blah, blah. And like at first I was going through it and then I stopped myself. I'm like, wait a minute. Let's back up and start that part over again and think about it from the point of view of, hey, I have a job. I'm making Cartoon Network money. Now how much am I willing to pay Devo Spice? Because, like, I just realized, like, it would be really unfair for me to lowball everything here just based on my life situation right now, So
yeah, and like one of the things that's always hard for me because like, you know, with Manic Mondays doing it at $1 per episode, that's $4 a month, which, you know, isn't really a lot of money, but I'm competing with like streaming services that are like $6 a month and have thousands of movies and TV shows on them. So it's like, is that comparable and stuff? But at the same time, you know, fans like to support the creators that they like. So rather than giving, you know, Hulu $9 a month, you know, giving Luke Ski $9 a month is much more personal, and I'm much happier to do that. So one of the things I learned early on with Kickstarters is, you know, if people want to give you more money, let them, which is why they always say have like a $10,000 reward, you know, even if nobody does it, at least you have the opportunity, because who knows, somebody could come along and say, hey, I've got $10,000. That's a good idea. I'll do that. And if you don't have that reward set up, they don't have the opportunity to do it. So that's where those numbers came from. It was like the amount that I'm thinking of charging is like somewhere in the middle of those ranges. But if everybody says they're going to give me more money, then maybe I'll go for the higher, you know, numbers. So,
yeah, I started. That's been on my to-do list for a long time. Is a Patreon overhaul, doing basically what you're doing, which is like. Except in my case, it's like I haven't been doing anything with my Patreon for a long time. People have just been giving me, I'm making like, you know, $45 to $50 a month just from people being like, I like Luke, I'm going to give him a couple bucks each month, you know. But I want to actually do something with it. So I did recently, you know, when the animation podcast started, I'm like, well, at the very least, I'll post the animation podcast to that feed so that they have a quick, easy way to get to that feed and listen to the episodes.
Yeah.
Especially if I have to edit certain songs out of the episodes because PodSafe, blah, blah, blah. You know, that'll be nice. But, what was I going to say? So there's that. But yeah, I also just, you know, I had this kind of vague plan of I want to go through all of my friends' you know, Patreons and see all of the stuff that they're offering and try to figure out, okay, what can I offer that's comparable, you know, without too much blatantly ripping off all my friends' ideas, you know, try to put my own, my own twist to it or whatever. But yeah, it's like that. The Patreon overhaul is something I want to do so that at some point I can actually think of Patreon as like, oh, I'm making a decent chunk of income of this, and I'm making specific new content for the fans who are on the Patreon that is content that I can reasonably make without making my life miserable and missing deadlines, so that the fans are like, hey, I paid you for this. What the fuck? Where is it? You know? So, yeah.
Yeah, Wildcard in the chat said, I would have liked a base rate and then add-ons for the specific things you want. I don't know if I can do that, but I will look into that. That's an interesting idea, because that probably would be the way to go, because, you know, some people are going to want Random Acts of Horror episodes, some people are going to want Insider episodes and not Random Acts of Horror. So if I could do it as add-ons, that would probably be the way to go, now that I think of it. So thank you, Wildcard. I will look into that.
I mean, kind of the, like, low... the non-fancy way of doing that is you have your regular Patreon, and then you could have, like, a private webpage that only your Patreon followers know about, where they can individually buy add-ons that just pay you directly through PayPal or something, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, so that way you don't have to get Patreon involved if they're stuck with their, rigid monthly thing system and won't allow you to do individual add-ons that way. You could do it the other way.
I believe you can sell individual posts. So like if I put up a short film, you know, I can decide to sell it for $3 or whatever. I think $3 is the minimum. So then people buy it digitally, and then they can see it. If you put pictures of your
feet, then you can charge $50 for that. For Devo Spice's ginger feet.
Dude, don't think I haven't considered it. Like,
and you know, you got to put a lot of, like, you know, production into those pictures. You can go walking through an uneven cemetery and take nice gothy pictures of your ginger feet. And then, then you make lots of money, and all the things go and there's confetti.
Yep. Yeah, dude, believe me, an OnlyFans channel of my feet has been under consideration. Like, anonymously, like you'd never know it was me, but I have considered it. Anyway, the other thing is back in January, I filmed a TV series. Well, it's not TV series; it's an app series. There's an app called Reel Shorts, which is similar to Quibi, if you remember Quibi, which launched and failed spectacularly. Reel Shorts is the same idea. It's very short videos in serial. So there's like, they'll have a 90-minute movie, but it's broken up into 2-minute episodes. So you watch them a minute or two at a time, and then you could come back to them or whatever. It's apparently very popular in China. So I've done 2 of these now. The second one I did came out yesterday, so you can actually watch it. The first one I haven't seen yet. I don't know what's going on with that one. But the second one came out yesterday. If you go on the Reel Shorts app and search for a movie called My Boss is My Secret Sperm Donor, you will find me. I am not the sperm donor. I'm just a doctor who works at the clinic. But I do have one scene in that film. And again, you watch it, 2 minutes at a time. I believe they also posted it to Instagram and TikTok. Same thing, broken up into there. So if you just search for My Boss is My Secret Sperm Donor, you'll find it. I posted a short, 15-second clip of my scene to my Instagram story today, so you can see that if you look at my page on Instagram. I am at Devo Spice on Instagram, for those of you who aren't following me. So I was very excited when that finally came out. So, the thing that I actually auditioned for the role, got the role, went to film, got paid to film, and it's out and people can watch it. Like, all 5 of those steps, in that order, happened. And it's like, wow, this is real. This is nice. So, all right. All right, let's get into some music. We have 2 pre-recorded interviews coming up in this episode. So the first one is the new one by Joe J. Thomas. Here is Panda Parody Song.
There's a zoo not too far away. Moms and dads watch their children play just to see furry things encaged they'd never see at home. And there's a bear in this smelly place, some bamboo chewing in her face. She's a panda here from outer space, looking harmless by design. And science says panda, black and white bear, eating all them bamboo trees. But that thing could be an alien transplantee. Panda has a secret lair, mind control hidden in her hair. A spaceship with galactic flair and an antimatter core. She came from a distant world, plotting plan, and to observe invasion fleets would be transferred. The Earth is not her home. And science says panda, black and white bear, eating all them bamboo trees. They're on Earth and want to enslave humanity. That panda looked into my eyes, and the things I saw were gory. The police did not believe a word when I told them the whole story. A tinfoil hat upon my head to stop their cunning plan. But no one else on earth will understand. At night, when the zoo's closed down, is when I'm lurking all around to look for things I haven't found that E.T. hides so well. And science says panda, black and white bear, eating all them bamboo trees. They're on Earth and want to enslave humanity. Yes, science says a panda, black and white bear, eating all them bamboo trees. They're on Earth and want to enslave humanity.
I am here with Joe J. Thomas. How you doing, Joe?
I'm okay, except their panda's stalking me.
There are pandas stalking you. Is there a specific panda phobia? Is there a name for that? Let me look that up really quick. Let me look that up. And it's probably not panda phobia. There isn't a specific medically recognized phobia for pandas. Oh, well.
It's oso-monochromophobia.
There you go. Okay.
I just made that up.
Yeah. So sounds good. I mean, it works. I like it. So tell us about Pandas, the song, not the animal. I mean, you could talk about the animal if you want. Talking about the song.
This one actually started out with me hearing Brandy and thinking, oh, that's a nice song in my range, and it's so familiar, and there should be somebody who's made a parody of this. So I'm typing along, and it's like, okay, I just see some lyrics for something that might be a parody, but is not, and somebody did something halfway, and I'm like, yeah, I should make a parody of that. And then I'm rhyming in my head going, panda? Okay, sure, panda. And then, of course, I put my tinfoil hat on and went off on the alien route.
Yeah, I was wondering where the alien stuff came from. I was wondering where the alien stuff came from. Any particular reason for that, or just going weird?
Oh, yeah. There's somewhere deep in my head. And you can see there's plenty of evidence just from her. She's being viciously mauled by one of these pandas.
Yeah.
That she's just trying to befriend. And of course, afterwards, I looked up, pandas, and naturally, China has created a panda robot companion, which I guess is full-sized human kind of panda-looking thing. And I'm already freaked up about robots. And I don't need a robot panda in my house.
Yeah, that seems like a bad idea. Like that seems like the beginning of a horror movie. I mean, we've got Megan 2.0 coming later this year. We don't need Panda.
Yeah, we just need a panda in Five Nights at Freddy's, and then we're fine.
Oh, right. Yes, that would work. So I wanted to ask you about the video for this song. There's a part at the end where it's a picture of your face, and it looks like just like parts of it are changing, like your eye is changing and then your mouth is changing without the rest. Like, how did you do that?
Okay, that's a GIF I made a while back because I'm like, I should just figure out how to make a GIF. So I literally sat there with a selfie thing and did just faces and took one shot, and then went into GIMP and lined up the noses and mouths so that it looked like nothing was changing except the expression, and then just made a rotating GIF out of that.
Wow. Okay.
Which ended up really freaky. My wife
it is. It's very freaky.
Yeah. My wife cracked up, and then she's like, "You're going to show this to people?" That's my thing.
Yeah, that was. I couldn't figure out if you had like spliced different pictures together, or if you were somehow making those faces where like just your mouth moved, but your eye didn't move somehow or something. It's very freaky.
I do have some bizarre mutant abilities where I can wiggle each ear independently. Of course, you can't see with the headphones on.
My grandfather could use
when I had hair. When I had hair, when I did that, it used to make my hairline go back and forth, which people thought was odd enough. And then I showed them the ear, and they're like, "Okay, that's weirder." So, yeah.
So, are you writing a script for an alien panda invasion movie?
I was going to see if I could approach Crow from Mystery Science Theater because he wrote Earth versus Soup. And I think maybe Earth versus Panda should be the sequel to Earth versus Soup.
That'll work. I could see that.
So I'll get an imaginary person to write it for me.
Okay, sure. So what else do you have going on with you that you can talk about?
Hey, nothing.
Yeah.
No. I'm working on it. I'm working on a video for a new parody song, which is another one more. My wife looked at it and said, "Are you sure you want to show this?" But yeah, I'm pretty sure I want to show this as long as I'm not anywhere in the United States of America when it airs. Yeah.
So you've taken it upon yourself to deport yourself temporarily and see what happens.
I'm solidly in the Rosie O'Donnell camp.
Yeah. All right then. So do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Just joesdump.com, where you can find all this stuff and other stuff that doesn't relate to it at all.
All right. Is that GIF on there with your face?
Oh, yeah. Actually, it is somewhere on there, along with one of me. There's one of me somewhere on there where I have half a mustache, where I shaved off the other half, and half a beard on the other side, and I've got lasers shooting out of my eyes, destroying the city of London.
Yeah, I think that was your profile picture for a while on the FuMP.
Yeah, because why not?
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and we will catch you next time.
Bye.
This is the FuMP.
Sometime later that night, this guy chokes in a sea. A slimy pest explodes from his chest. What the hell did this do me? Ain't that a Xeno? It sure as hell is a Xeno shrieking into the night. It don't want to date, it just wants to suck face, and it's on the ship looking to fight. Here comes the Xeno!
I'm sick of all my records, and every time I walk into the record store, I forget what I want to get. And there ain't nothing on TV, not a stupid thing. There ain't nothing to do except take naps and wait patiently for death. Why kids love hip-hop? Why kids love...
That's the Funny Music Project at thefump.com. THEFUMP.com.
You can't trust a fart.
Time for funny music news. Something.
In the news, the FuMP's newsletter went out today, which talked about some of the recent new releases, MC Lars' new Kickstarter, the FuMP videos, and more. If you're not on a mailing list, you can view it online at tiny.cc/FuMP0425 for April of 2025. tiny.cc/FuMP0425. And just a reminder, Mikey Mason's new album will officially be coming out on Monday the 28th, which is this coming Monday, at mikeymason.bandcamp.com. The album is called Mimic and is available now as a digital pre-order. 12 tracks you can listen to now on Bandcamp or streaming. And so definitely check that out. All right, that's all the news I got, unless you got anything else, Luke.
I do not.
All right. Tour dates. On Sundays in Nashville, Tennessee, Steve Goody hosting at the Bluebird. Sundays online, 2 Sleeps. Mondays online, Steve Goody and Brad Tassel at virtualcomedyshow.com. Mondays and Tuesdays online, Bill Larkin. On the 25th on Twitch, Mikey Mason. The 25th and 26th in Sacramento, California, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. On the 26th in Normandy Park, Washington, Steve Goody. On the 27th in Santa Cruz, California, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. On the 28th on YouTube, Escape from the Secret Lab featuring the Consortium of Genius. On the 2nd in Newport, Oregon, Steve Goody. On the 2nd in Oakland, California, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. On the 2nd in Youngstown, Ohio, Carla Ulbrich. The 2nd through the 4th in Des Moines, Iowa, Mikey Mason. And on the 3rd in Boise, Idaho, Steve Goody. And birthdays coming up tomorrow, the 25th, Mr. Chris Mezzalesta. Okay. Coming up on the 29th, we have Mr. Todd Chappelle. And coming up on the 30th, Joe J. Thomas, who we just saw. All right. Second song of the week is the new one by Matt Harbert. Here is Go to Sleep, diss track for my 8-year-old.
You better go to sleep. Nana dada, I don't wanna better go to sleep. Nana dada, I don't wanna better go to sleep. 8:15 and her teeth cleaned, and don't you say a peep. No talking, time for sweet dreams, you will not get a treat. No McDonald's ice creams, I will not claim defeat. I'm your dad, not to be mean, you gotta get some sleep. You cannot sleep too soon, and if you do not snooze, I'll send your iPad to the moon, your future's doomed. Just action, no more talks, close your eyes or say goodbye to ever playing Roblox. You gotta sleep. And know that I am not bluffing. I will take all of your stuffies and take out all of their stuff and don't step to me. You think that you're young and you're bold. You're talking to a crabby parent that is 40 years old. Just go to sleep. Snore, 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 just like that. No, you don't need to go potty, cause I know you just shat. iPad, not enough, I'll take the TV in a jiffy. Say goodbye to Disney Plus, thank God, say goodbye to Blippy. Why are you still awake? You know tonight's cursed. And no, you don't need water, you just quenched your thirst. You had milk 10 minutes ago, just sleep, you're the worst. Cause if you don't sleep soon, I'm gonna sleep first. Oh, snore, 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 just like that. Snore, 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 just like that. Just go to sleep.
I am here with Matt Harbert. How you doing, Matt?
I'm doing well.
So it's been a while
That's how I'm doing.
since we've heard from you.
Yes.
So
Yes.
tell us
I
about
went into the shadows.
Go to Sleep diss track.
Sure. So I think this was when the Drake and Kendrick beef was happening, and I had a frustrating night putting my daughter to sleep. So those two went into a bowl in my brain, and I felt the need to write a diss track to my daughter that has trouble with the bedtime routine.
Yes.
That is the genesis.
I remember those days.
Yes. And, she's definitely at an age to receive a diss track. So hopefully she will start putting herself to bed. Maybe I'll share the diss track with her and then she'll change her mind.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, or she could, write a counter battle back to you and,
Oh,
if she
dang.
does, record it and send it to us because I'd love to hear it.
What if she does it and then she plays the Super Bowl halftime show?
Well, that would be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, then it would be over for me. I'd have to put out a something saying, "Hey, let's just get back to the music," like I didn't just get owned really bad.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I thankfully never had that much trouble putting my kids to sleep that I felt the need to write a diss track about them. But there were some nights.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It was just that's what happened. So it's just like yeah, just in my head I was like, what if I just did this in rap battle form? And so that was fun. It was a fun record. I'm glad you all enjoyed it.
I'm kind of surprised you didn't get her on the song to do the answer lines like, "Nah, daddy, I don't wanna."
Yeah, I mean, that's always the question, right? Going back to the Funny or Die Genesis with the roommate, the landlord sketch, is how much do you involve your minor children in your little skits, your sketches?
See, I had
So
no trouble
that's
getting my
always-
kids to do all that stuff. I was like, "Hey, I need kids on this song. I have kids. Come over here, kids." I mean, one time I had to bribe them with a cupcake, but it
That's
worked
right.
out
Get
fine.
to work. Oh yeah. Yeah, they don't know how to unionize yet. So eventually they'll want pizza You know what I mean? They'll organize. You'll have to go to, Chuck E. Cheese later, some yearly bonuses. So,
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I don't mind.
absolutely. I'm not doing comedy for money usually.
I mean, I'm trying to. I'm failing miserably at it, but I'm trying to.
Exactly. And that's exactly what I tell my daughter every night before I put her to bed. Daddy's trying, he's failing, but he's trying. Sweet dreams.
I still want to get into like kid stories, but it's like we're supposed to be talking about your song, but all I can think of is the time my son vomited on the blinds. And I don't know if you've ever tried to clean up vomit out
Oh,
of blinds, but
wow.
that was an experience. And I just kind of looked at him, and my wife was like, "Throw them away." I'm like, "Okay, yes, let's do that."
Yeah. Yeah. That's always the best when you get permission to just junk it,
Yep.
start over. Oh my goodness. I'm ready to just like, I look at my house sometimes. I'm like, you know what? Let's just burn it, get the insurance, start over.
Right.
That's how bad I am at cleaning. Like, let's
Well,
just fresh
living room's a
start,
mess.
small
Time to set it
fire.
on fire again.
Yeah, I kind of skip a couple logical steps before I go to let's torch the house down, but sometimes it just feels too overwhelming.
And I could see your train of thought here because you did that with this song. Instead of like reading a book to your daughter, you wrote a diss track to your daughter. You skipped a couple of steps.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I've definitely had a lot of what's the word? A lot of silly ideas based off of, just putting her to bed. I realize that almost every children's book sounds like a Chili Peppers song because of the lyrical style
Mhm.
of Anthony Kiedis.
Yeah.
So yeah, just read any children's book and just do it in that Kiedis rap. It'll fit right in. Throw some slap bass on it. It will absolutely work.
I'm sure somebody has done that. Um
I have done that. I
okay.
myself did it. What was it? Which one was it? It was the A. They all go up a coconut tree. A said B, then B said C. I'll meet you at the top of the coconut tree.
Oh yeah, that would absolutely
Something, something.
work.
Chicka, chicka, boom, boom.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
chicka
was
chicka
like
boom
chicka,
boom. We
chicka,
have
boom,
that one.
boom. Will you
Yep.
have enough room? Yep. Yep.
Dude, you need to
Absolutely.
do that, like a little side project where you just do Red Hot Chili Pepper style covers of songs. I mean, it would be a legal nightmare, but it would be so much fun.
Yeah, yeah. Google my name and Chili Peppers. You'll see some TikTok shorts.
Oh, cool. Okay, good.
I've done some Anthony Kiedis silliness.
Awesome. I'll have to check that out. Definitely. I saw one recently where I think it was Busta Rhymes or was it Ludacris? One of those two singing or rapping the words to Llama Llama Red Pajama. I don't know if you've had that book, but that was a
Oh
favorite
yeah, that
around
would be
here.
good. Do you do it quick?
Yeah, kinda. He just
Yeah,
went
that'd
all the
be
way through the
great.
book. It was
That'd be
yeah, it
great.
was a good performance. So what else is going on with you?
I'm just I'm here in LA still. I'm doing sketch comedy at a theater called the Pack Theater.
Hmm,
So we have a monthly show, fourth Sundays if you live in Los Angeles, called Moxie. So we're just about at the end of our monthly cycle. So we've got all of our sketches rehearsed and ready to go up Sunday evening. And just recording self tapes from my office here and going surfing. That's
nice,
my life these days.
nice. Do you guys write new sketches every month for the show?
Yeah, yeah, new show every month. I feel like the only theater that I know of that does it kind of in repertory is the Groundlings out here. I feel
Hmm.
like most teams out here do a new show every month. Whether the Pack or Upright Citizens Brigade or any of those.
I would love to do something like that with the Cirque du Soleil guys. Unfortunately, we are scattered all over the country, so getting us together,
Yeah.
once a month is never going to happen. Getting us together once a year is difficult.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
Oh my God, scheduling anything is a nightmare. I just can't stand, as much as I love collaboration, just doing a Google whatever, like when can 12 adults with
Right?
adult priorities meet
Yeah.
is a nightmare. I'm
Yeah.
gonna battle rap scheduling. The concept of scheduling, that might be a little too I don't know if that's concrete enough to
You
rap
know what?
against.
I do a series of battle raps called Stupid Rap Battles, and the concept of scheduling
Ooh.
might be a good one for one of the what could he be battling against though is the thing we have to figure out. But we'll talk.
You could have a pro or anti-scheduling, like a type A or a type B personality.
Well, the other one would have to be something
like
completely different,
someone
like
could rap
a rubber ducky or something.
Oh,
like
I
that,
got you.
So
Got it. I thought we were kind of doing it like debate, like one person raps pro scheduling and one person raps anti-scheduling, but I guess I don't understand the format. We're just doing two separate dumb
It's called
things.
Stupid Rap Battles, and what you were thinking of is not stupid enough. You have to go full stupid in order for that to work. So
Gotta go full stupid. Dude, you always make that mistake when you go half stupid. It's like, well, this is gonna offend the stupid people and the smart people. So what you gotta do is you gotta double down.
Yep.
The dummies will love it. The smart people will think you're being ironic, whether you are or not, and then you got them all.
Yep, exactly. All right, so do you have anything you'd like to plug?
If you're in LA, you can come to my show, Moxie. If you're anywhere else in the country, Linktree, maybe? MattHarbert.com will be an easy one, but Linktree, if you know how to format that, linkter.ee/MattHarbert has all my socials, but I've been posting a lot to TikTok. That's kind of what the song was originally posted as a TikTok, but I had the original recording. So I've been posting a lot there. It's Matt Harbert 5 on TikTok, because I guess since I've become an old man, people have procreated and named their Harbert children Matt. So I'm Matt Harbert 5 on TikTok and Matt Harbert basically everywhere else, Instagram, blah de blah.
All right, thank you for
That was a
joining
long
us.
answer. I should shorten that up.
No, that's totally fine.
All right. I'm enjoying all the Nintendo wares in your Zoom screen.
Ah, you like that? Yeah, those are all the boxes.
I hope you get I love it. I hope you get a Switch 2. I hear they're hard to get.
My wife was trying to pre-order one. I don't think she got one, but we'll get one eventually. I'm not like clamoring to get it because
exactly
money, but I mean I do want one. I just don't have money, so it's a problem. So
right, that's the problem.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and we will catch you next time.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Making the internet absolutely ridiculous. Dementia Radio.
www.dementiaradio.org. Port 8027.
Please hang up and try again.
This is the part where there's feedback. Feedback. You know that segment of the show we do about now? Feedback. Feedback.
Feedback.
Draconosaurus. Draconosaurus. Draconosaurus.
Draconis wrote, for those that love weird, and then a link to a Facebook video with Dan Povenmire, and I don't want to spoil what he's doing, so check out the link. And Madman on the Loose wrote, after figuring out how to listen to the weekly Spotify playlist, I like the idea of featuring individual artists on it. It might be a good idea for 1 week to feature newer FuMP artists on the playlist. Yeah, absolutely. We can definitely do that. All right. And that is all the feedback we got. So...
Teasing. He's a teasing kind of guy. Now you have a job.
Yeah. Teasing. Tomorrow's song is by Soggy Potato Chips. And can I tease the Sunday song?
Yes, you can tease the Sunday song.
Sunday song is by the great Luke Ski.
What? And special guests. Ooh. Yes,
Wonder
the
who
person
that
who's
could
making
be.
that down has said it will be done. It's like, who do they expect? At least one of the people they expect. Yes, they're correct. Others probably also correct. Yeah, so the person who's mixing it down says that it will be done by then. I am currently posting the other information that goes on the FuMP page. So yeah, so it'll once I get the track, I will plug it in there, and it'll be good to go for Sunday night. So bonus FuMP, last FuMP of April. Wee-hee!
No, it won't, because Tuesday's song is also in April. Tuesday's song is by Mikey Mason from his new album Mimic. So, all right. Matt Harbert, yeah, check out whatever he plugged. I don't remember. Joe J. Thomas is at joesdump.com. And for the record, while those interviews were playing, I played around with my Patreon settings, and it doesn't appear that there's a way to do a base subscription and a bunch of add-ons. But I can ask when I get in touch with them, because I'm going to have to be in touch with them to migrate my subscriptions over. So I will ask. All right, let's get out of here. Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. I'm Devo Spice.
I'm Luke Ski, and other people were here, and I ate Uncrustable.
Thank you
It
for
was
listening
yummy,
to the Funny
so
Music
go buy them.
Podcast. You can listen live every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific at DementiaRadio.org, and join us in the chat. Or subscribe to the podcast feed. Look us up on iTunes, and be sure to leave us a review. Feedback for the show can be sent to info@thefump.com. The Funny Music Podcast is a production of Fidem Interactive, LLC, released under a Creative Commons share-alike license. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, shout it to random people on the street, and be sure to visit thefump.com for the latest funny songs. Tune in next week, where you'll hear Luke Ski say,
Tie your dog to the poach.